Come on, daddy. Be good to me, daddy. All right, we're good. Fish and Toast, episode 9. Tanner, live from the beautiful city, municipality of Sun River.
Sun
What
River
is Sun
Resort.
River?
Yeah.
Is it a township?
I
What
would
do we consider
say
Sun
so.
River?
Just like right outside of Bend. That's the
Yeah.
only way I
How's
can
the
think of.
wet? How's the
Oh, it's
weather in good old
dude,
Sun
it
River?
is beautiful out here. Sun is shining.
That's
The weather is
not what I
sweet.
wanted to hear. I mean,
No, it is.
I
It's so nice.
whatever.
Yeah, no,
I'm happy
I
for you.
can't complain. But I literally just checked into my room and hopped on with you, so I haven't got to check out much. I am going to go down to the Owl's Nest later, maybe have a beverage or two.
The Owl's Nest.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that as a bar name.
Yes, so you'll catch me there after this.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, I'm excited to talk some football.
Yeah, actually, before we talk football, how about I hit you with I placed my first NBA bet of the season.
No way. What did you place?
So I don't like uneven dollar amounts in like any of my accounts in anything in life. It just drives me nuts. Like I always want it to end in a zero, like 0.00.
Yeah.
So I placed a hefty 24-cent bet on a 7-pick parlay tonight. All on the Timberwolves and Lakers, baby.
Oh, you did the same game parlay?
Yeah, just player props. D'Angelo Russell under 16.5. Bumped up that Timberwolves spread because why the fuck not? -6.5. DiVincenzo to hit over 2.5 threes. LeBron to get over 7.5 assists.
All
Gobert
right.
over 12.5 rebounds. Julius Randle under 7.5 rebounds. And Naz Reid over 11.5 points. We're getting wild. We're getting crazy.
Wow. That's deep right there.
Bringing home a solid $20 and like 50-something cents if that one hits, baby. I'll be going to the Owl's Nest if that one hits.
That's right. Fuck yeah.
Well, glad that we were able to make it happen. How long are you in Sun River for?
Just till Friday. Like I think the conference gets over at it's supposed to go till like noon on Friday, but I bet we head out before then. And
gonna hit the links, man.
I wish. I mean, if I didn't have to go to so many of these little classes, I would. But honestly, if my manager wasn't here, I would definitely be going playing a little golf while I was here. But since he's here, I feel like I don't have the ability to do that right now.
You always got the ability to, man. You can make.
I mean, I actually don't.
Gloves and jump out there.
I actually don't have the ability. I'm actually pretty damn bad. They might get me booed off of this place.
Yeah, I need to start getting lubed up, oiled up here soon because I don't think I swing a club in. I think we're going on a month here, bud.
Yeah, that was.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that long. I went to the driving range. It was 2 weeks ago. It was the weekend of the Vanderbilt upset. Over Alabama. Yeah, that was the last time I went to the range and swung some clubs. So
I went with Smitty. Probably I think last week, and it was the first time I had gone in a little bit over a month, and I felt like I swung a club for the first time ever. It was not good.
Looked like a child out here.
Yeah, I was shanking balls left and right. Brought me back to my old days.
Well, let's get right into it. I think we cannot bury the lead here, bud. Oregon Ducks, #1 in the country.
It feels great. Feels great
and also nerve-wracking at the same time.
Oh yeah, I mean, you never want to be one at this point of the season.
You don't ever want to be the best, right?
You want to be one at the end of the season, and that's the one that we're waiting for. But right now, I'm happy that we did take over the 1 spot because we deserved it. We had the best win resume-wise right now, I believe. and beating Ohio State, and then shut
beating
out Purdue.
Idaho.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
yeah. Beat it Idaho and
Tough
Boise
thing.
State.
No, yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, my son was even locked in. He's like, "So, what are we ranked? So we need Georgia to win, then, right?" I'm like, yeah, that would give them the nod. That would
Wow, little
put them as
Joey
number one.
coming in hot.
Joey's
With
like,
that.
"All right, let's go Georgia then. Let's go Dogs."
Heck
And
yeah.
did I see correctly? Did Georgia jump to 2 with that win? Or did they?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like I saw that somewhere where they bumped.
Mhm.
Yeah, Georgia to 2. They got Penn State 3, Ohio State 4, and Tejas 5.
Which is kind
So
of like messed up. I mean, I guess you're saying Penn State hasn't played anyone, but they also haven't lost. So
excuse me, they've played the Harold Fanning led Bowling
that's
Green
true.
Falcons.
The Mackey
Okay.
Willard winner.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
R. Harold Fanning Jr.
Yes.
who had,
Of
I
the
think,
pod.
who I think had like 12 receptions this last week.
Dude, I mean, the guy's unstoppable.
The guy's an animal. The guy's unreal. But that sets up Oregon as the number 1 team in the country. It sets up a ranked matchup this week against the fighting Brett Bielema's.
I will be there. I'll be there.
You will be there because you are a season ticket holder of one of the Oregon Ducks there, bud. So 12:30 kick. So,
yeah, I'm happy about that.
There's part of me that I prefer the midday kicks. I'm
Like the 12:30, or you're talking about like 4:30?
I'm talking the 4:30s. I like the 4:30 kicks. I'm more of a night owl. So having to wake up early and head to Eugene early for games, like, I'll do it. Don't twist my arm. I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the end of those days, I'm already so tired, regardless from the games, that it's like it might as well just be 11 at night, midnight, anyways, because I'm ready for bed by the time I get back from Austin.
It's a whole day event, no matter what time the game is, and yeah, you're exhausted, but totally
mentally, physically drained. It's like I just was out there playing 4 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna possibly be the biggest test we have left on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to play the game of where's the loss, but we know Oregon. Like, they drop a game late in the season. They always do something stupid where they end up losing the game. And while I don't think it's going to happen at Autzen, it is the only remaining ranked game. So,
but I see us doing something stupid, and the one that makes me nervous is Wisconsin going to Camp Randall. Like the way that they're starting to play, they've won 3 straight. They've looked way
given
better.
Up like 16 points in those 3 games.
Yeah, the defense seems to have something figured out, and their backup QB now has had a few weeks to get this offense down, and he doesn't look bad. So I think that is a possible trap game at the end of the season, because we're going to be fired up for Washington at home, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those where, depending what happens with Wisconsin the next couple of weeks, that I hope Dan just has the boys ready to go, because they cannot go into Camp Randall thinking that's all right, just take care of business. I hear what you're saying. They're going to be looking at Washington, wanting to get that revenge and just welcome them back to Autzen and just whoop on that ass. But they cannot overlook that Wisconsin game. But not to overlook the rest of the schedule. I mean, this Illinois game, Illinois is an interesting team because their offense, it doesn't really do a whole lot for me, but that defense is what is intriguing.
Yeah, well, I mean, even their offense has 2 really good wide receivers, Pat Bryant, Zachary Franklin, really good. They have a decent tight end. Their running back is hurt right now, so they've been going by committee kind of. And QB 15-1 right now, 15 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's pretty impressive. So their offense hasn't been anything. He can run around too. Like, nothing to mess around with there. I'm definitely nervous about his legs, us keeping him in the pocket, that sort of thing. But yeah, their defense has showed up. It's been pretty good.
God, and speaking of, keeping the quarterback in the pocket, not letting him run around. That Purdue quarterback, that squirrely little fucker.
Oh, I
Like,
know. I saw your tweet about that. That was
oh my god, dude, he was driving me nuts on Friday. It was like I know that they, shut out and didn't let them get in the end zone, but man, there was just some plays where I'm like, can we just get this fucker down, please? Can we
yeah.
just tackle him for the
Well, I
love of
mean,
God?
we got kind of lucky that the fact that they didn't score in that game, honestly. Um,
Yeah,
if they didn't have a fumble, a couple dumb things, then maybe they get some points on the board. But when they went and tried to kick that field goal down 21-0, that was basically them just like kind of conceding the game because you got to go for it, and then they go out there and they miss a field goal. So
yeah. I'm and I don't know how I feel about this spread either. I mean, it's what, 25, 24? What are we looking at?
well,
Right now
for
it's
the
at 20. It's got bet down from earlier in the week because it was a lot higher than this 21 and a half that it was at.
yeah, I saw 21.5 earlier today.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that I got bet down. That came out really high.
I know. It was like one of the highest
Um,
of the week.
that kind of made me think that Vegas thinks that we might roll at home. Like, listen to Bielema's little press conference he had earlier this week. This is the
What was he
farthest game.
saying?
He's saying this is the farthest game that they're going to have to travel to.
The
Um,
furthest?
yeah, like they've already traveled to Penn State, but this is going to be the furthest game mileage wise that they have to travel. They're going to be leaving on Thursday, which they usually leave on Fridays. So they're leaving an extra day early for this to try to, I think, get on the time zone and get acclimated. But there's something different. He's said that they're trying to plan for the Autzen crowd and the noise and
Good luck.
everything, but I don't think there's anything like when we have a nice packed house going crazy, which I'm assuming we're going to have another really good crowd because of the
Well, I
stakes of this game.
well making it, it being a ranked matchup, Illinois being better than probably everyone expected them to be at this point in the season. I mean, you put a number next to anybody's name, and Austin's going to get up to get
Yeah,
up for it, right? Like they're
yeah,
going to want to show out, being the number one ranked team. They fully expect them to win, but I just that number one next to their name scares the shit out of me in
yeah,
the regular season. I mean, the last time it happened, it's been documented now. People talking about it. 2012, they were number one for a week, and then they fucking lost to Stanford at home. And
hmm
Stanford, I think, was a top 20 ranked team at that point. So it's one of those like, yeah, happy for them, but also just nervous. And granted, expanded playoff, like, whether you're 1, 8, 4, 11, like it doesn't really matter when you get to that playoff point in the season. But again, just having this amount of expectations, having this amount of hype towards a team, which it's well deserved with how they played these last few weeks. I mean, the last 5 games, you have dominated your opponent outside of Ohio State, obviously. I mean,
hmm
Ohio State game, that was very close, and there's a lot of different factors that went into whether Oregon wins by 1 or whether they win by 14 or Ohio State wins by a full
yeah,
touchdown. But I mean, just the way that they've looked, there is no reason why, as we mentioned, they should win out, but also Oregon is prone to giving you a loss before the end of the season, regardless of how good their team is.
we're all used to it. So if they can change our mind, I'd be happy to see that. But
Well, the thing is too is that like college, obviously, like Dan, the team, the players, this whole staff, like they don't know that, right?
yeah,
Like they
yeah,
haven't been
yeah,
around for that. So
they didn't experience it.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, how much is that in their locker room now? Granted, Lanning, as far as how he has the mentality of this team locked in week to week. I mean, we saw literally Purdue. There was plenty of people either being serious or joking, like I was, about Purdue being a trap game.
Oh no, I mean it's
And
very known that they are well known for a trap game. Like that's
so them coming out with the
Boilermakers.
35-0 win
Yeah.
at the very next week, short week after a super emotional home victory against Ohio State. I mean, that has to give you the mindset that this Oregon team is different and they're taking care of business on a week by week basis.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Even Dan in his preview presser, he was like, I don't know if you
Who
heard
cares?
Jared. Yeah, exactly. Jared Mack asked him that question
Who cares?
from Duck Territory, and he was like, "Yeah, how's it feel to be leading this team back to number one, first time since 2012?" And he just gives a "Who cares?" Like that's how locked in he is. That he's like, "I'm not even addressing this. Like, is it the end of the year? Like that's how I would be. Is it the end of the year? We number one. That's all I care about. One, we got 5, 6 more games to play. So, I
Well, I
mean,
love it. I love that again. He is so locked in and has his team locked in. There's part of me that just kind of like, obviously, I'm going to love every game, take it all in. But there's part of me that's like, can we just fucking get to the end of this season, please? Get to playoff time. Like,
well, that's how you feel when you have this good of a good team and like you want to just be guaranteed you're in the playoff at some point. But like we wait all year for this like season to come, and then now that we're already like for me, now that we're halfway done, I'm like, whoa, slow down. Like we're gonna be without football here before you know it.
true.
So I'm trying to
Like,
just
there's
like
literally only 5 games left on the regular season schedule.
yeah, and like I remember looking at the schedule so many times and being like, oh, I can't wait for this game. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for Ohio State. And it all came really close,
It's
like quickly, and
yeah,
um,
it's wild. It's wild how quickly the season goes.
yeah. So
So for the sake of time, then I always kind of like doing this is figuring out like what is the tier one of college football now? Like after this weekend, after we've seen Alabama lose again, after we've seen Texas get their first loss, Georgia dominate them pretty much. Penn State, they get a week off. I think Penn State and Ohio State both got the week off, correct?
yes. Do you want to know tier one? Indiana and Kirk Signetti, okay?
That's tier one. Everybody else is tier two.
Tier one, I don't
Dude,
care.
they've whooped the shit out of Nebraska.
And
I had a feeling they would win, but I didn't think they were gonna fuck them up like that.
yeah,
Even
I
with
didn't
their
think
with the backup coming in.
I mean, I kind of thought it might be like 2 touchdowns. I did not think that they were going to dominate that hard. Curtis Rourke looked great. He got hurt. His thumb got hurt in that game.
Yeah, he's probably
Um,
gonna be out this week. I forget who Indiana has on the schedule. I don't know if it's who they're playing
Washington.
next. That's right. Thank you. Because it's
They
game
got
day.
Washington. Yep, Washington.
Yeah.
They got Taven Jackson, who's going to be filling in. I think that they'll be all right. But Kirk Signetti continues to be one of my favorites. He's just so
Did you
animated
call
on the sideline.
beginning of the season you called that
Yeah.
shit with
No, I've
Kirk
I've
City.
been on that. I've been on that bus since it started, and he's been awesome.
You're
Like
piloting in that shit now.
anytime that they have like one little penalty or one little blocking assignment, he is losing it on the sideline. And they're up like I don't care if they're up 49-7, he's losing it still. Like you're all right, bud. Like
Well,
but
now I'm
that's just kind
curious,
of he's a
talking about
perfectionist.
Indiana, what the rest of their schedule looks like. I mean,
Dude, they play
Washington this
Ohio State.
week. I know they got Washington, Michigan State the week after in East Lansing, and then they got Michigan at home,
They'll beat
and then
Michigan.
they should. And I
Dude,
swear to
Michigan
God, if they
cannot
don't.
score enough points to keep up with this team.
Oh, I know their offense is an atrocity, and I mean, I'm glad that it's at home because Washington, it seems like as long as they're not in Seattle, they're losing. Like they like yes, you played Northwestern, but who isn't beating Northwestern at home? Also, Washington, for Christ's sakes, they've only had or excuse me, I'm getting my schedules mixed up here. I'm looking at Indiana's schedule. I was like, I don't remember them playing Northwestern, but they won apparently. Um, I was like, good for them. Washington, they beat Michigan at home, is who it was. But then, yeah, lost to Rutgers at Rutgers, got absolutely demolished by Iowa. And that's their only 2 road games so far. Every other game they played at home, and then they lost the Wazoo game, obviously. But
Yeah.
I mean, them having to play at 9 a.m. also in Indiana. So what is this? A 7 o'clock kickoff? Well, 9 a.m. for us.
Yeah.
God damn it, the time zones always fuck me up. I was like, wait, this is kicking off at 7 o'clock our time?
You mean for
9 a.m. in Indiana?
for Indiana right there against Washington?
Yeah, I was reading as if it was kicking off at 9 a.m. in the Central Time Zone. I was like,
Oh,
wow.
geez. 6 a.m.?
I was like, wow, Washington really got fucked with that one, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's another 9 a.m. Washington just got done with a 9 a.m. against Iowa right before their bye week.
Yeah, that is tough sledding.
Yeah, that's not fun.
So Indiana, I mean, I swear to God, they should win these next 3 games. Washington, Michigan State, and Michigan to set up a almost undefeated matchup. Ohio State, they do have that one loss, and I mean November 23rd, that could be a potential top 10 matchup. Ohio State and Indiana,
Which is crazy.
that is wild.
But I'm gonna be rooting for them Hoosiers.
Oh hell yeah, they're America's team right now. So that tier 1, Indiana, clearly. Oregon, I mean, putting Georgia up there. Again, Penn State, I feel like it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like they'll play at Wisconsin this week and they'll get Ohio State. I mean, they very well could lose that game against Wisconsin this week. That would be the most Penn State thing to happen.
Dude, that did seem like a kind of a low spread to me. Like when I saw it, I think it was at 6.5. I was
Penn
like,
State favored.
Yeah. I was like, this is a little bit lower than what I thought it would be. But yeah,
am I crazy riding the hype train of Wisconsin these last few games? I mean, they have looked substantially different than the USC game, Alabama games from earlier in the year.
No, I mean, I think you're definitely right to say that. They're starting to figure some things out. Like it was really shaky to start the season, but they're definitely, I think defensively, they're starting to figure things out. And once you get this backup quarterback, some more reps in practice, you got 3 weeks. And yeah, it's 6.5. It hasn't moved since I looked at it earlier. So it's not going to be an easy game because is that in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Randall, yeah.
Camp Randall. Yeah. Jump around. I think that they might be able to pull something off.
I'm just waiting for Penn State to show their true colors and pull something Penn State-esque. It was kind of like Ole Miss earlier this year.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they're number 6 in the country, but it's like it's Ole Miss. Like something's gonna happen here, and then they fucking lose to Kentucky.
The difference with this Penn State team is that they actually have an offense now where they can score. Like
It's true.
it's different offense. Like they're not running this putt offense. They have a really good offense coordinator who's probably not going to be an OC very long. And then Drew Aller with another year experience. I just don't think they have like great weapons other than their tight end. Like their wide receiver core doesn't really scare me.
That kid, their tight end who got like 20 receptions against USC.
Yeah, was it Tyler Warren or something like that?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, he's been really good, and he's definitely their go-to guy. So
he literally has 40 receptions on the year, and 17 of them came against USC. He literally almost got half his reception total in one game.
Just torched USC. That's crazy.
While you're right about Drew Aller, another year under his belt, I just can't get behind any kid who has that broccoli haircut. And so he's bound to have a blow-up game here soon. I'm calling it. All right.
That's fair. I mean, I think he is due.
It can't be trusted with a haircut like that.
No.
So Oregon, Georgia, I think it's fair to put them in that top tier.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you watch that Georgia Texas game?
A good chunk of it.
Okay.
I didn't catch like the first half or so. But their defense, man. And I mean, they also looked really good against Clemson to start the year. So they have 2 marquee top 10 wins now. And that defense is just nasty. Like that's what's if they're going to win a national championship this year, it ain't going to be because of Carson Beck. It's not going
No,
to be because of the offense. Just
their
because that
defense is
defense,
suffocating.
yes, like just
Yeah.
absolutely insane. I mean, for God's sakes, they had. Now that I don't know if this is so much Sark just overreacting, but I mean, when he's benching Quinn Ewers essentially before the half, and then putting him back in and doesn't know what to do, like that's how flustered this defense has offenses and teams right now.
Right? Yeah. Oh, Arch can do something and just goes in there and runs around.
Yeah, and
Doesn't
just
do anything.
nearly fucking dies himself. So I'd say, Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State, I'm putting up there.
Would you put Miami in there, even though they're 7-0,
No.
haven't lost? Okay.
No. They have been skating by the skin of their teeth.
They've got a couple
Or-
really lucky calls too down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, 3
have
weeks
saved
in a
them.
row.
Yeah.
How hilarious would it be if they lose to fucking Florida State this week?
That would. Cam Ward though keeps doing things where it's just like you shouldn't be getting out of these, and he's just doing it somehow, and then finding an open wide receiver that has been like that was covered for like 4 or 5 seconds already, and then he just somehow slings it down the field. And I mean, sometimes it goes bad for him, but right now a lot of the times it's going well.
I would love for them to lose to Florida State, but it's not going to happen because Florida State, legitimately, I think they are second to last in offense.
Yeah,
in the country, like 132nd or whatever, 131st out of however many teams. They are second to last, worst offense in Power 4.
Yeah, that's
but
crazy.
Miami again, they just keep escaping, and I think that come an ACC championship, they're going to take on Clemson, and Clemson's going to get them.
Yeah,
like I think that Miami's defense is not nearly as good as Clemson's, and I think Clemson's offense. I mean, a lot of people sold them off after that Georgia game, and then Cade Klubnik and the offense is like just answered the call and looked so much better throughout this season.
yeah. But I mean, if you look at who Clemson's played, they haven't played anyone.
True.
Like, I mean, for me, I'm really just out on the whole ACC. I think that they have some.
I think there's a lot of people that are with you there.
They can score points, but their defense is not good, like all around.
I saw that. And then they gave up. They didn't give up the lead, but they gave up the spread against Virginia.
Yeah.
They were up like 41-17 or something like that.
Yeah, that was clutch for me. Yeah, I had the 21.5. So
I don't know if you were watching SVP last night, but did you see the Harvard Holy Cross bad beat?
No.
Harvard
Holy Cross. Oh,
it was so good. They were just making fun of just Ivy League football and like the camera angles that they didn't have, and just some of the players
screwing someone over.
Oh
probably.
my God. It was absolute madness. But yeah, I really think right now tier 1 is like Oregon, Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State.
No Alabama or Tennessee, right? Since Tennessee just beat
Alabama. Yeah, no.
He's out.
I mean, I think those 3 teams, and then again, I think that we might add some more teams in as the season goes on. Like Texas has a chance to get back in there.
Yeah.
Tennessee, I think, has a chance to get back in there. I mean, Miami,
Texas definitely has a chance to be back in there. I think that they kind of are. They ran into a bad situation, a pissed off Georgia, and that's tough for most teams. I don't know how I feel about Notre Dame, too. Notre Dame keeps showing up defensively, I'll say. Offensively, I'm not impressed.
Is Iowa State in that tier, but they kind of keep escaping from time to time. So
yeah, Rocco Beck keeps bailing them out late. I don't know. Watch out for Cincinnati and Brendan Sorsby, man.
Is BYU in that tier 1?
Oh no, we definitely
they weren't. They are, dear God, so lucky they got away with that win on Friday.
God, yeah.
I was gonna text you. I'm like, are you watching this right now?
I could not believe that happened.
It's so bad by Oklahoma State. It's like, just make a fucking tackle, make a stop.
Dude, they could not tackle to save their life. It's like they haven't been practicing it. I could not believe how many missed tackles they had.
Oh God.
And Maryland pulling out that upset over USC.
Dude,
Um,
I cannot believe. I can believe, actually. I can believe that USC would do that.
It was like the most USC thing ever.
Yes. 100%. Yes, it very much was.
Oh, we're leading the whole first half. Come out, we look sloppy in the third, and then we get outscored in the fourth to lose by 1 to Billy Edwards and the crew at home.
Jesus Christ.
Billy Edwards and Miller Moss each put up 50 passes each. Come on.
Who's the head coach at Maryland that I saw? Is it Lovie Smith?
No, it's Loxley.
Mike Loxley.
Yeah.
Complete doppelganger. I was watching the game and I was like, is that Lovie Smith? They're like, how come I haven't heard about that? Dude, tell me, look at the pictures of him with the beard. Tell me he does not look like Lovie Smith.
I definitely see where you're going with it. I at first thought it was he was kind of looked like Northern Illinois' coach.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
yeah, Mike Loxley with the beard. That is a pudgier Lovie Smith right there.
Thomas Hammock, that's who I was thinking of.
Oh God! All right. Well, I want to look at games for this week, but I wanted to play a little game with you real quickly. See if you can see if you know which games have the biggest point total number this week, and what is the biggest spread this week. So, can you guess what the biggest point total for a single game this week is in college football?
Oh, I'm gonna go with I've bet on one, so I'm guessing 65 is my guess because I bet on that, but I haven't looked through all the totals.
And what game was that?
That was the Oklahoma State game, I believe.
So at the moment of me pulling this, they were one of the bigger spreads.
Okay.
Or bigger point totals, rather. I see them at 65.5.
Okay.
And that's one of the top ones. The biggest point total that I've seen, it's 2 games now.
Oh, it's Tulane, North Texas.
Tulane, North Texas, 66.5. And then also, what is it? Texas Tech and TCU at 66.5.
Oh, dude. Just no one plays defense in all 3 of those games.
What made me look this up?
Shootouts.
What made me look this up is because I think it was New Mexico. I forget who they played last week. Like their point total was 77.5 or something.
78.5. It came out and it got bet down and finished in the 90s.
They still covered the point total. Like, oh my God.
That came out and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't take the under. Like that number came out and I was like, there's no way I touched the under on that.
I think there was a coworker of mine that I think he took the under just because he's like, that is an insane
point. Yeah.
It is 77.5 is so much.
Some people just blind bet that, Some people blind bet the biggest total of the week and just go under.
No way. Yeah.
Yeah, no way this is hitting. And then more times than not, I mean, there's a reason why that game
is that much.
That high. Yeah.
All right. The lowest number. Can you give me the game?
Oh, jeez.
And I'll give you a hint. It's not Iowa.
My guess is
because that's an easy go-to right there every time for lowest point total.
And then what other team can't score? Utah and Houston. Both those teams are terrible at scoring.
That is correct. Can you guess the point total?
It's got to be like 40-39, like something like
36.5.
36.5?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was looking at these games. I'm like, who the hell has terrible offense, and those are two teams that don't like to score.
Would you go under on that?
Honestly, right now I would not go I could not hit over on that with Isaac Wilson and whoever Houston has out there. Houston can't even score on Kansas.
For 4 straight weeks, Utah has scored less than 22 points. 22 against Oklahoma State, 10 against Arizona, 19 against Arizona State, and then 7 last week against TCU.
The best thing about Houston was that they play a little bit of defense, not great defense, but that's the best thing about their team. And
they certainly didn't play defense against Kansas. That's for sure.
No. Kansas had them figured out. Lance Leipold dialed it up.
For once this season.
Yeah, for the one time. Jalen Daniels didn't throw 7 picks. Yeah, they play Kansas State too. Kansas State this week. That'll be decent.
In-state rivalry matchup. Let's go.
Already.
Can you guess the biggest spread of the week?
You were saying, was it Oregon, Illinois?
And it was higher early. I could have sworn I saw that thing at like 23-24 earlier in this week, but it is not the Oregon Illinois game. No.
Then we got to go to some other like shit games. Let's see. What? Oh my God, Liberty's got to be. Liberty's got to be like 20+ point favorites against Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State's so bad.
the Liberty is 25-point favorites. It's not the biggest spread of the week though that I'm looking at.
Let's see.
There is one game that is bigger by a half, so you're there with the Liberty game, but it is technically not the biggest spread.
That's not the biggest. They're not gonna do James Madison Southern Miss?
Dude, you are it is not, but you are on the right track with all these. James Madison is a 24.5-point favorite over Southern.
Yeah, Southern Miss just fired Will Hall, their head coach, this week. So
oh boy.
And James Madison's coming off a loss to Southern.
That could be the interim coach win right there for Southern Miss.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much saving Southern Miss this year.
Bet the money line.
No, especially after James Madison just loses. We saw what happens. Here comes an ass whooping for Southern Miss. So,
all right, I'll give you a hint. It is a Power 4 matchup. I'll give you one more hint. It is not Miami, Florida State.
Okay.
Because we already talked about that anyway.
Yeah, I was assuming that would be in the 20s. They're not going to make Ohio State that big of a favorite, are they? Ohio State's probably like 21.5 or something like that.
Looking at the camera. It is Ohio State, buddy.
It is. What number? Oh, wow. So they just saying that Nebraska's lost all confidence right now, and it's just going to be an ass whooping. Well, Nebraska has to go to Ohio State, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
What if Nebraska just loses out? They start 5-1 and still miss a bowl game.
Well, they are in their brutal stretch of their schedule right now.
Well, they'll play UCLA after this, which they should win that game. But UCLA is the master at somehow covering spreads that they shouldn't. It seems like
you wouldn't normally say like, "Oh, going to Indiana, that's going to be a tough one," but this year, a whole different feel around that program.
So that is your biggest point totals and biggest spreads.
I like that. That's pretty solid.
You are damn impressive, though. Like, that is fucking unreal that you're even like, ooh, it could be that Kennesaw State game.
Well, I mean, if you look, there's just some like glaring mismatches, and like I've tried to get my eye on just about every team this year. And there's only some teams where I can like stand watching a few series, and Kennesaw State is one of them.
Well, you are one of the few that would watch any Kennesaw State other than the alumni. So good for you.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true. Um, I bet other people do for betting reasons, but
Yes.
um, I can say that I have not been on a Kennesaw State game this year.
Well,
So
maybe this is the week. Maybe you change that.
Liberty by
Yeah,
30.
baby. Why
But
not?
like sometimes with those like big spreads, I start to question your motivation towards the end of the game of like running up the score, or like do they get into like some of the things that Oregon has done and just kind of like coasted, be like, hey, it's not getting anyone hurt. Do we have a real reason? And then you find
Maybe
those
we need to look
coaches,
at last year's matchup. Maybe there's some bad blood where Liberty wants to run up the score.
yeah, there could be a little motivating factor that way. Um, or it's just kind of like, let's just get in here, get a win, and get out of here. No one's going to get hurt and continue the season on. Kind of like how the Ducks have for a few weeks this year.
All right, and I do want to take just the last part of this college stuff. I have all of the games pulled up here because I haven't looked at like the full slate yet. But
Oh, this weekend?
we get our first military school versus Notre Dame matchup,
Dude, I'm
and
so excited for this game.
I am too. And Notre Dame better fucking lose this game if they want to. Like I said a few weeks ago, if they want to be true Americans, true patriots, and care about this country and show that they care, they lose this game.
If they have any respect for our
Yeah,
country. Um,
they either win this game and they're fascist commie bastards, socialists over there in South Bend, or they're patriotic, good red-blooded Americans, and they lose to Navy. They
is
throw
that a
this whole.
9 a.m. game for us?
It is a 9 a.m. game. Yes.
Okay, I'll be able to watch a little bit before I go into um, the Ducks game, but
There you go.
I probably won't be able to see a ton of it. But that was one of those games where, especially depending on what the outcome is, I'll have to go back and rewatch at least the highlights of that game because I really like Navy's quarterback. I think that he's underrated.
And then I pray, and it's a very long shot that this happens, that Texas loses to Vanderbilt after losing to Georgia. Like,
The
can you
Diego
imagine?
Pavia train keeps rolling.
Can you imagine
No, I
if
can't. I can't. It's going to be too much for me to handle, I think. I don't see it, but they proved me
the
wrong
city of
already.
the city of Nashville might not be around the next Sunday morning if Vanderbilt beats Texas at home,
Those goalposts cannot handle it anymore.
with Vanderbilt being ranked for the first time since ever. It seems
Yeah.
like.
This also like don't skip over that Boise State UNLV game on Friday night. That's a
Oh,
big Mountain West game.
yeah, that is UNLV. Thank God they got the win against the Beavers for obvious reasons, but now you get a one-loss matchup between Boise State and UNLV with playoff implications, mind you.
Yeah. Did you happen to see the last play of that Beavers UNLV game with
I
the
did not. I just saw that the Beavers
supposable
lost.
pass interference where the guy tripped them? They didn't call it.
I did not.
Where they
The
could have
Beavs
had,
get.
yeah, the Beavs could have had one more play to try to tie up the game, but kind of got screwed out of it. I mean, it is what it is. It's tough to throw the flag in that situation, deciding kind of if they get another shot, but definitely a little contact there they got away with. So,
Who cares?
what else is this week? We got, I guess, Miami, Florida State's not great.
I mean, Oregon State, Cal. We want to stay on this Beaver train. Oregon State needs a dub. And Cal
Yeah.
needs a dub. I mean, this is not a conference matchup, but Jesus Christ, Cal.
Oregon State
Figure
will
it
be
out.
pumped for this.
What was that?
I said Oregon State will be pumped for this.
Cal will be pumped for this too.
They
Again,
need to show
Cal,
some sort of heart.
they're riding a schneid right now. 4 straight losses. They need a dub.
They had such a bad loss to NC State last week,
I know.
blowing that game.
That is, I've tried to vouch for him this, last few weeks. The Miami game, them losing to Pitt,
Yeah.
them even losing to Florida State. I can't forgive him for that NC State.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's unforgivable.
I think I will be able to watch some of this LSU Texas A&M game though. That should be good.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's the 4:30 kick there. Okay,
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm pumped for that, and a little Brendan Sorsby action to seal Colorado up at night.
Yep, Cincy, Colorado. By the way, you were on that Cincy taking care of Arizona State, covering there.
It got a little sweaty there at the end. Yeah, I'm pretty sure every play that I had brought up on the pod last week ended up smacking.
I brought that up to my one of my bosses. Because he's a Sun Devil. He went to Arizona State. Forks up, stomp the bus. And have you seen the stomp the bus video?
No.
Dude, you need to watch
Stomp the bus.
You need to watch Arizona State stomp the bus. They play this when I think the team runs out onto the field, but it's their like hype video, and it's the Arizona State Sun Devil with Sparky, and he's running through, like walking through Tempe like a big fucking Godzilla, like a giant, and then he gets to the stadium, and there's always like in the video graphic a bus of the opposing team with like the team's graphic or logo on it, and he just fucking stomps on it and just crushes the bus, killing the entire team.
I'll have to check that out.
Oh, dude, it's great. Yeah. So now they apparently at the Arizona State Stadium, the fans all start chanting, "Stomp the bus! Stomp the bus!"
But what is your
they're bloodthirsty down there.
Say about that game though?
Oh, yeah, I told him, I was like, I told him that you were on Cincinnati covering. He's like, whatever. And I was like, all right. And then sure enough, go Bearcats.
Yeah, it was a little sweaty. It didn't need to be that sweaty, but
for the sake of time, I do want to jump to the NFL because I concocted another fun little game for you.
Let's roll.
A little NFL true and false.
Ooh.
I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 true or false questions. I went to work.
Jesus, Fisher.
Yeah, we're gonna test the knowledge here, see how well you've been following NFL this season, which I'm sure you're gonna get all 13 wrong. You're just not locked in at all.
I'm definitely not as locked in NFL as I am college, but I've been trying to stay up on that, so we'll see.
All right, first one, true or false? Josh Allen has 0 turnovers this season.
That is, well, I know he has 0 picks. I'm not sure about fumbles, but I'm going to go with he has 0 turnovers.
He does have a fumble.
Okay.
But it wasn't a lost fumble. So therefore, he has 0 turnovers this season. That is true.
I have his season win. I did under 13.5 interceptions for him. So
there you go.
After being
son of a bitch, of course you did.
After throwing the most picks in the league last year.
Yeah, that's I was definitely surprised by that when I saw that he has 0 turnovers, 0 picks. I was like, damn, good for him.
Yeah, he's really no Stephon Diggs, no forcing,
Yeah, seriously. All right, next one. Staying on this quarterback interception train, Patrick Mahomes, true or false? More interceptions than touchdowns.
Oh, that's true.
It is true. And another one that I couldn't fucking believe. 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Dude, someone posted Bo Nix's stats next to Mahomes, and Bo Nix has like comparable or better stats.
Ooh, that'd be good. One of those player A, player B. Who are you taking?
Yeah, right now he has
questions on Twitter.
He has less picks than Mahomes. That's for sure.
Well, I got to say, with 8, I mean, that's getting close to leading the league, I would imagine.
I think you're right. Yeah, there's got to be
like Minshew, maybe.
Oh, Will Levis, he's got to be up there.
Well, Levis, he also didn't play all that Dolphins game, right? And then he didn't play last week, so
he might still be leading.
That's very true. Right now, Mahomes is tied with Jordan Love and Gardner Minshew with 8
Okay.
interceptions. Yeah. You got a
Jordan,
handful of Will Levis is right behind him with 7, and so is Purdy.
7 with 2
Baker.
less games.
For real. Was it Purdy, Will Levis, Baker, who has basically thrown all of his interceptions in the last 2 weeks, it seems like.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers.
Purdy's struggling lately.
Yeah, I mean, he won't this week. I'll tell you that much. Even
You get
without
Purdy.
Debo and Ayuk, he's going to light up the Cowboys. Or they'll just hand it off to Jordan Mason 50 times and just let them run all over the Cowboys because that's very easy to do.
It's going to be – is Juwan Jennings still hurt too? Juwan Jennings might be hurt. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he probably has dysentery or something with the way that injury report's going. All right, next one.
Yeah.
True or false? Lamar Jackson is top 10 in rushing yards in the league.
Oh, this is a good one.
And this is as of the end of game last night.
It's tough because do I want to say that 2 rushers are the top? Because I think Derrick Henry's got to be up there.
He is number 1.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. It's like, do they have 2? Do you say top 10?
Top 10.
2 top 10 rushers. And what's crazy is I want to say yes, but it just seems absurd to me. But I'm going to go yes.
Well, if he had 10 more yards, he would be.
No way.
He is currently 11th in the league, just 9 yards behind Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's impressive.
Still insane, right?
Yeah.
This is a little extra credit. Does Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson have more rushing yards combined than the Jets and Cowboys combined? Take the Jets and Cowboys team rushing totals, the 2 worst rushing teams in the league.
I was going to say the Cowboys have to be close to dead last.
They are dead last.
Okay. Let's go. Yeah.
That is true.
Okay. Because
Jackson and Derrick Henry by themselves have more than the Jets and the Cowboys combined.
I don't remember the last time a Cowboys running back.
2 entire NFL franchises. Those 2 players have more rushing yards than them.
Oh, well, when Derrick Henry has 169 yards rushing on 15 carries, that's crazy.
With the staying on that Cowboys trend, true or false? Averaging less than 70 yards rushing per game.
The Cowboys?
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be true.
There's part of me that wishes it was true because it would just be hilarious, but it's actually only 77.2 yards.
Oh.
Less than 80.
By 7 yards?
70.
Come on.
Yeah, just so bad.
Yeah, that's really bad.
All right, staying with the rushing trend here, and you mentioned Derrick Henry. But does he lead the league in touchdowns? True or false? Kyren Williams leads the league in rushing touchdowns.
Kyren Williams is definitely up there. It's between Kyren Williams and
Kyren Williams might have every single touchdown for the Rams this season.
I know. That's the craziest part.
I think Matt Stafford literally only has like 3 passing touchdowns.
Brian Robinson's been pretty good for the Commanders as well, but I think you're right. Kyren Williams just only scores their touchdowns. So
this is technically true because him and Derrick Henry are tied with 8 apiece. So He does technically lead the league.
That's wild too.
Yeah. Got 2 more rushing questions for you. Saquon Barkley is averaging over 6 yards a carry.
Yes. True.
That is true. 6.1 yards per carry, which is fucking insane.
Yeah. Well, every time I turn in and watch an Eagles game, the Eagles
50-yarder.
It's at least like 5 yards, and it's crazy to me the Eagles just don't want to rush him more. Like
I would be giving him 25 carries a game.
I mean, Alexander Madison got 23 carries. Kareem Hunt got 22 carries. And we're only giving Saquon Barkley at like 17 carries is like a high total carry for him, I feel like.
Well,
Like,
Sirianni is not calling the plays for them, right? He gave up play calling duty,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think you're right on that.
I want to say
And
that's one of the moves that he made in the offseason where he's like, I will give up play calling duty.
yeah, it's just crazy to me. Yeah, I mean, right now, I thought you were going to say maybe Montgomery because Dave Montgomery is a big vulture. Touchdown.
Oh, it's Kellen Moore. That's why.
Oh, Kellen Moore. I know all about Kellen Moore.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do too.
Yeah. Didn't last long for us, but yeah.
On the yards per carry, Bucky Irving averaging above 5 yards a carry. Go Ducks.
Yeah. Big Buck. Let's go. Yeah. I want the good vibes with him.
I do too, Tanner. I really do. And we're keeping those good vibes because it's 5.2 yards per carry.
Let's go.
What a rookie year for Bucky. Absolutely loving it.
I mean,
last night great for the Bucks, but his yards per carry before last night was 5.7, and it went down to 5.2. So still maintaining.
The Bucks have that Sean Tucker guy. That guy's pretty legit too.
Yeah, where the fuck did he come from?
I don't know. They just need Rachaad White to be a wide receiver now.
They have a three-headed monster at running back.
Yeah. I mean, Rachaad White still got 10 carries, but
I took the over in points on that Ravens-Bucks game.
You took the over?
And
great call.
It would have hit on that fumble, that backwards pass by Lamar Jackson, and they called him down, the DB that scooped and scored for the Bucks. And so I was like, they should just give us the over on points because that play was cool. Then the DB getting the ball and then just the pile going for like 15, 20 yards into the end zone. I mean, it hit that drive anyways, but still the way that the whole pile just moved for like 20 yards for a touchdown. I was like, you got to give it to him.
Watching that Bucks Ravens game, well, I flipped back because I was watching the Chargers game, obviously more intent, and I looked at it, it was like 3rd and like 31 or something. Like it was like 3rd and goal, and they were backed up all the way to like almost the 40. I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, how are they 3rd and goal almost at midfield? Like, that's crazy.
To keep on this Bucks trend, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, true or false, tied for the most receiving touchdowns in the league.
Together or
together? They both are tied.
Dude, they get so many touchdowns.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think Jamar Chase is up there yet. Yeah, so I'm going to go yes.
Mike Evans, 6 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 6 touchdowns.
Okay.
And Chris Godwin, 5 touchdowns. And unfortunately for him, that is going to be the only amount he gets this year because his ankle turned to jello last night.
Oh, I was so sad. He's on my fantasy
team. Like 40 seconds left in the game.
On my fantasy team, and I love betting that guy. Like,
yeah,
he's, it was terrible. I feel so bad. I saw the picture of that too.
Ooh. Oh, dude, it's just like lying on the turf. Just
and his ankle's literally going the wrong way.
Oh, like, dude, it was.
I was like,
that is definitely the worst injury of the week. I saw the Deshaun Watson one happen live, and I was watching it with my son, and they showed the replay, and you can just see when an Achilles goes, and you see the whole calf muscle just shake and like move up.
Like, it's like a gun.
Oh yeah, just pops. It was. I was just like, I think that was the first time my son had ever saw someone's Achilles go like that, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Yeah, it's fucking gross."
Yeah. Keeps getting worse for the Browns.
Staying on the receiving train here, Brock Bowers leads the league in receptions.
I know he's got to be the number one tight end right now.
I'll give you a hint. He is the number one tight end.
Yeah.
But is he the number one receptions leader in this young NFL season, Tanner Steffens?
I'm like trying to go through my head on all these tight ends. There's got to be someone I'm missing, but right now, I feel like he is like a focal point of that offense. I'll go yes right now.
What?
I'll say yes right now.
47 receptions. That is good for second in the league.
Second.
He went into Monday night as the leader, but Chris Godwin ended up becoming the leader in receptions with 50 on the year now, which that is where his season will end.
I misunderstood that question.
Oh, well,
I thought it was tight end receptions. So
no.
Yeah, I was just going over all the tight ends in my head, but that's even more impressive that Brock Bowers is up there with all the wide receivers.
I'll check the tape. I'll see if I fucked that one up. It's
highly
likely that I did.
Because Godwin's a reception machine.
Yeah. And unfortunately, no more receptions for him.
And that was my favorite prop to bet for him was receptions. So
he'll be receiving a cast on his ankle, that's for sure.
He'll be back.
Back for a playoff run.
Come on.
Automatic lock. Put it in. This is someone that I had never heard of until the other day. True or false, Will McDonald IV of the New York Jets leads the league in sacks.
Wow.
Have you heard of this guy before?
I've heard of him, but I did not think that he would be in the question for leading in sacks.
Trust me, when I saw the stat pop up, I'm not going to tell you the answer, but it was against the Steelers. He got a sack, and they showed his season total. And I was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, the way you're making it sound like it sounds like it's true, but I would think it would be TJ Watt or, before Aiden Hutchinson got his leg broke, it would be Aiden Hutchinson. But McDonald, maybe?
The fourth. Will McDonald the fourth. While he does have 8 sacks on this young season, he is right behind his New York counterpart for the New York Giants, Sexy Dexy, who has 9 sacks on the season.
Dexter?
As a D tackle.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got 9 sacks. Will McDonald got 8.
I thought Brian Burns would have more than Dexter.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe they're stressing so much on Burns and Kayvon. Kayvon hasn't played the last game or two, but they're putting so much stress on the edges that it's freeing up Dexter to get more opportunities to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Will McDonald with 8, Aiden Hutchinson 7.5, Kyle Van Noy 7, Trey Hendrickson 7, and then Mad Max down there at 6.5. Will Anderson Jr. at 6.5 as well.
Where's TJ's not up there?
TJ Watt is with 4.5, tied for
14. He's slacking lately.
I know, he's a bum. You didn't really get to Rodgers that much.
They did a good job on him.
Night. Yeah.
They also just kind of try to get the ball out quick, which you should do.
That disgusted me, that Jets game. I took the Jets to cover. And, oh, my God.
You never go against Tomlin. You know that.
That is the second time I have learned that this season. I'm done. I need
no matter how easy it looks, it was almost like too easy with Russ being the starter this time, you know?
Well, I thought, Russ being his first game back, the Jets were in essentially what seemed like a must-win situation. You're getting Devontae Adams, you're feeling good, and they just crumpled and folded like a pair of twos.
And that's why the NFL is annoying as hell.
But if you ask Aaron Rodgers, it's the media's fault. That
I saw that.
Yeah. We need to stop listening to you for one.
He did take some accountability later on in that, but yeah, he needs to stop listening to the media.
It's our fault.
Yeah, it's your fault for pushing these narratives, and then
it's our bad that you have one of the worst rushing offenses in the league. I'm sorry.
You're bad that can't
I
block
can't
for
believe
shit.
we did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to some team defense here.
Hmm.
Yes. Titans have the best defense in the league by yards per game.
Yes.
Yes, they do. This is
Yeah.
true.
I
Imagine what they would do with a competent quarterback.
oh, I mean that defense is getting let down right now because I can't believe how good they've been. Every game I look at, I'm like, how are they in this game? Like, how is it so close? It's just like so low scoring because their defense is doing such a good job, but they can't capitalize on anything.
Yeah, and considering how much Will Levis is putting them out on the field too,
Yeah, and
or Mason Rudolph.
I don't know what's going on with Calvin Ridley. That guy has not looked good at all
Oh,
in
dude, he
Tennessee.
might lose his goddamn mind.
He
Might
might
never
be
get his
betting
kid.
on these games again.
Yeah, can we check? Can we check his phone, please? We'll do some was it geo targeting on that thing and see if
Yeah,
he's been in that DraftKings app recently.
he's got Otani's bookie.
Keeping on team defense, the San Diego Chargers. That's right, the San Diego Chargers are the only team who have given up less than 100 points. And I know I'm saying San Diego.
I know our defense has been top 5 in the league this year, I believe.
That part is true, but are the only team to have given up less than 100 points?
I'm gonna say no.
You're going to say that there is another team that has given up less than 100 points. Well, you would be wrong, my friend. They are the only team that's given up less than 100 points with 83 points so far in the first 6 games of the year.
Jesse Minter's got the boys ready to go. It's just this god awful offense that we can't shake because there's no one to throw to. Will Dissly looked like Gronk last night with fucking 10 or 11 receptions, whatever it is. And
God, get Justin some help, dude. I mean, for the love of God.
Quentin Johnson didn't play.
I know, but I mean, if that's what you're saying, like for Herbert at this point, like, oh man, if only they had Quentin Johnson out
Quentin
there.
Johnson didn't play. Oh my God, what are you gonna do?
For the
It's
love of
just so
God, help that
easy
man.
to play defense on us because they don't respect us going down the field because there's no one to throw to. So it's going to be that way all year. Our defense is going to have to win us games, and Justin's going to have to try to stay healthy somewhat. It's just what it is.
Bears Steelers with 101 points given up this year. Chiefs 103, Broncos 106, Vikings 107. So some good defenses there. And I believe this is my last one. The Dolphins are the only team to have given up less than 1,000 passing yards.
What? There's no way. I mean, they are always in like really.
Isn't it weird how some of these like mediocre or shitty teams are really good at defense?
Yeah, no, I know Miami's defense was really good. They are the only reason, again, like the Tennessee Titans, that they're staying in games. Because I'm looking at them like, how are the Dolphins in there? Tyler Huntley has 20 yards passing, and it's the second half. So, like, I'm gonna go yes, like true on that.
I'm going to say false on a technicality. While the
Okay.
Dolphins have given up less than 1,000 yards, the Titans have given up 1,000 yards exactly.
Yeah.
On
Watching
passing.
that Titans Dolphins game was wild because it was like who wants to win this game actually? Like both defenses dominated and both offenses looked so bad. So
All I remember from that game is at the end, the over hitting on the last second with Tony Pollard getting the carry.
that was clutch. I remember that.
Joe and Troy Aikman making note of that.
Made some people really happy right there.
Yeah. For the sake of time, because I got to jump on old Tenny the Fan, talk some baseball here, and let's do a World Series preview. I want to move to Brennan Locks, and I just want to throw out a couple NFL notes that I'm seeing real quickly. And we can even jump on tomorrow night if you want, just to go a little bit more into college football and more of the gambling stuff. But NFL wise, a couple of the spreads that are jumping out to me and also point totals, but Green Bay being a 5.5 point favorite over Jacksonville in Jacksonville. This is where Dan Stephens will be at. this weekend, correct?
Yes. Yes. He will be
Um,
there. Boots
and
on ground.
actually, I think that since the time, oh, excuse me, they are a 4.5. Okay, I wrote that down earlier. That the Packers are a 4.5 point favorite. I, I don't know. There's part of me that is like the Packers are one of the best teams in the NFL, and the Jags are going to be feeling better about being at home. But give me Green Bay to cover the 4.5 all day long.
Yeah, I
I feel
mean,
like it's
yeah,
going to be a lot of
definitely.
points, but I still just feel like Jordan Love in this offense is, and the Jaguars defense especially just sucks eggs, and that the Packers are going to roll in this game.
Yeah, the fact that this isn't like 6 to 7, like kind of makes me a little sketched out and like, what am I missing? Like
Yeah,
here because I agree, like Packers defense is way better than what the Jacksonville offense is. Packers offense, they're going to be able to run the ball and do what they want on offense. So like I definitely see what you're saying there, and um this game, that spread is just weird. So, okay, if you like if you like the Packers, I wouldn't say no.
-4.5. I think that is, I mean, automatic lock.
I
That's my
mean,
free play.
Jordan Love's got to have a really bad game for that not to hit, right?
Right. This one I wrote down earlier, but now that I looked into it a little bit, Cardinals Dolphins. I mean, Dolphins are like 3 point favorites, and the point total is 46.5. Initially looking at this, I was like, take the under because the Dolphins can't score. And the Cardinals, while their offense is a little bit better, seemingly can't score either at random times. And then I was saying, take the Cardinals to win straight up. Tua is supposed to come back this game, which I then found out afterwards.
Yeah, that makes me a
But
little bit and like nervous. I don't like to buy good news, like
I
um,
don't, and
in the
yeah, he's coming
NFL.
back after nearly dying for a fifth time.
Yes,
Say
yeah.
good day to Reggie Wright,
All it takes is one sack for him to be right back out of that game.
dude. Yeah.
So
So I don't know. I'm looking at the under and money line for Cardinals in that one.
I don't mind the under in that one. Yeah, I don't mind that at
Um,
all.
because also Tua coming back. I mean, they might be able to just light it up right away, but I hear you. I like that what you're saying on the not buying good news aspect.
Yeah, I don't know if you looked at that line for the Thursday night game. Um, that seems awfully weird to me that Minnesota's only laying 3 points.
3 points. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean the Rams do not look good. They were a playoff team for me, and they just look like
they kind of
they
had a chance to lose to Vegas at some point in that game.
yeah. And Matt Stafford
So
has not been very good these last few games
I
either.
don't know if it's because the Cooper Cup news is they're supposed to come back. Like he's supposed to come back and everything's going to be fixed by then. But
Or they trade him.
I don't know if people just forgot that over 1 week that the Vikings defense is still really good. They just played one of the best offenses in the league. So
Yeah.
I don't
All right,
know.
last two real quickly.
Yes.
Uh Ravens against the Browns -9. Take the Ravens to cover. I I know it's a high point total, but I don't care. The Browns are absolutely falling apart. And I mean, Deshaun Watson wasn't giving you anything anyways, but you're not going to get anything from Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Yeah,
So,
Thompson Robinson with a week of prep, you don't want to see him.
dude, hey, he got a win last year as a starter. All right,
Yeah, that's true. They
and
are at
then
home.
yeah, no, it's no. Ravens are going to absolutely roll. And then what was it? The Texans. See, this got bet up to 6 since this morning. They were 5.5 point favorites. Give me them to roll against the Colts as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a big spread for a reason, honestly. I
Well,
think
it got bet up. It was 5.5 this morning. So
I think the Colts are a better team with Joe Flacco. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but
I don't think it necessarily is. I think it's not a bad statement to make.
okay. I'm glad you think so as well.
Well, bud, we can jump on tomorrow. We can go for, another 30, 45 minutes or so and add in some more college football talk, more NFL, preview some of these games some more. It's up to you. I'll know you're out there enjoying the Sun River life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that just because I don't know. I don't know
I'm gonna have to
because
check my schedule.
well, yeah, it's like unknown schedule for me right now. So, um, there's a chance we might have like a reception thing tomorrow night. I don't know.
Maybe a
Uh,
Thursday night little ball tickler or Friday. Well, you won't catch me Friday. I'm going out to government camp Mount Hood Friday. So,
oh, well,
you,
Wednesday
oh,
also tomorrow, Timbers have a home game, so let's go Timbers.
let's go.
Timbers in the
Well,
playoffs.
let's go tan. Have a good time out at Sun River, and yeah, we'll be in touch.
Thank you, sir.
I got your contact info. You got mine. Let's communicate. Let's keep talking.
We'll be seeing. We'll be seeing.
All right. Well, have a good time out there, bud.
All right, thanks, man.
Peace.
Peace.